So now that we've discussed about risk assessment, let's see how we can apply this to aid with hazard awareness. So kicking off with step one, and that is to identify possible risks. The process to assess risk begins with risk identification, and we do this through planning processes. When we're evaluating our task and the environment, we need to do so with questioning attitude. We need to determine the opportunities for failure. And if we do that, rather than just focusing on what we've always done to work safely, we can truly begin to prevent incidents. So now we will be implementing the risk matrix, which we've discussed previously. For each hazard, you must assess and rate the risk and severity. Let's look at the matrix as we go. Green indicates that this is something that should not be ignored, but is not the primary focus either. In some cases, awareness and wearing PPE should be sufficient to prevent exposure. Then we've got yellow, and this indicates that action is required. Being aware of the risk will not be enough. This is where the primary focus of hazard elimination will come in. Finally, we've got red, and this indicates that the job cannot proceed without proper consultation with the HSSES and the management team. You must develop a path to reduce the probability and exposure, or else apply elimination or do not do the task. So now we've come to an end or the last step of the risk assessment process, and that is to mitigate the risk. When you're doing this, ask yourself some questions. So are you able to eliminate the hazard? Are you able to minimize associated risks? Would you need any support or assistance to do the above? Would there be better time to do the work? Are you going to need to inform relevant stakeholders? What tools, equipment, or PPE would be required? Are there any permits that you require, or should isolation come to play, and what lockout is needed? Or are there any policies or procedures relevant to the task that you will need to utilize for the process?